in YouTube land. We are live now with the UFC on ESPN 8/UFC FL weigh-in. Staredowns. We had the weigh-ins earlier. I know a lot of you will be joining us back from that broadcast. But we have the Staredowns coming up soon. These are going to be an interesting ones because we, for the most part, we know what it's going to look like, but we've had some kind of odd last-minute changes. You can see, not changes, just happenings. You can see the graphic on the screen. All the scheduled fighters successfully made weights. You see that red text there at the bottom next to Giga Chikadze. He lost his original opponent, Mike Davis, due to medical issues possibly connected to a weight cut. And Floridian Erwin Rivera is stepping in. However, Rivera did not appear on the weigh-in stream. He's weighing in separately because he has not been tested for COVID-19. We understand that he was undergoing those tests this morning, as well as other medicals and other paperwork needed to take the fight on less than 48 hours notice. So we're waiting. We don't know if Giga Chikadze will be facing off, and if so, if we'll be with Erwin Rivera. We're not really sure what's happening. We also had appearances by Marvin Vettori, who was supposed to fight on Wednesday at UFC Jacksonville. He came in at 203.5 as an alternate. We don't know for what, though, because there are no light heavyweight bouts. It's possible he could face a heavyweight or perhaps a middleweight will move up to fight him. That was very confusing, but Vettori weighed in a second time this week. He's normally fights at middleweight. He weighed in around the light heavyweight limit this time. And then right at the end of this morning's weigh-ins, we had Urijah Faber come in, Hall of Famer, longtime bantamweight, former featherweight king. He weighed in at 153.5 pounds as an alternate for what looked like a lightweight bout.
Me too.
But now we heard from ESPN's Ariel Helwani that reportedly he might be stepping in for a man he came to coach, Song Yadong, to possibly fight Marlon Vera, as Song might be dealing with some visa issues, which we thought had been cleared up. But these things can be very complicated. Again, this is just a report from ESPN. We don't know. UFC has not made any official announcements yet on what is going on with Song Yadong, Marlon Vera, and Urijah Faber. So, weigh-ins as usual for everyone. This is Alexander K. Lee here. We have Jose Young on site. He is responsible for the images you're seeing on screen. And we have Casey Layden on the ones and twos, and lovely graphics from our own Esther Lynn. Casey, are you here with us?
Oh, hold on one moment.
All right.
Yes, sir, I am here now.
There we go. We got Casey here. We've got Jose here. I don't know if Jose will be talking right now. Jose, are you there?
I'm here right now. Yeah.
Go.
Manning the camera, if you will.
Excellent. So we've got you guys covered on all fronts. As we said, it's been an eventful week already. As you all know, this is the third weigh-ins and third stare-downs and third fight night tomorrow that we have had in 7 days. The UFC, of course, making up for lost time due to their schedule being thrown into chaos, as with the rest of the world, by the coronavirus pandemic. So the company has gotten back into business this week. They had a pay-per-view on UFC. They had pay-per-view UFC 249 this past Saturday, which went ahead as scheduled, despite one fighter, Ronaldo Jacare Souza, testing positive for COVID-19. His fight with Urijah was canceled. Then 5 days later, we had UFC Jacksonville on Wednesday, so we had another show already. And now we are waiting for the stare-downs for the third show in 7 days. UFC on ESPN 8, headlined by Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris. We're just waiting a little bit. We don't know how long it wasn't too much of a delay on Wednesday. Last Friday, we had to wait about 45 minutes after the weigh-ins were done for the stare scene. But it was the first event in a while, so we had to get all their ducks in a row. Not expecting as long as a delay today, but thank you for joining us anyway, and here to give you information and just fill time while we wait for the fighters to come out. That's who you guys all want to see. And we don't know what the first weigh-in will be. Could be Giga Chikadze and late notice replacement, or Vera. Stare down. Or it could be Dontel Mays and Rodrigo Nascimento. On screen now we have everyone's favorite commercial ad man. I did not see these ads, but I heard that I'm up in Canada, but I heard all of you lovely ESPN Plus viewers in the United States saw a lot of this guy on Wednesday night during the ESPN Plus UFC Jacksonville broadcast. So there you go. This part of that we will have him. He's there to keep the company while we wait for the fighters to show up. I assume Dana White is still around. He was in attendance at the Staredowns for the UFC 249. He was in attendance at the Staredowns for UFC Jacksonville, and we assume he will also be here today. He's been very available to the media for the most part, following fights. It's been a long week for him, I'm sure. It's been a long week for the UFC staff, who we must applaud for being for helping to put all this together, of course, and helping to put on the show under very, very difficult and bizarre circumstances. Okay. Again, as you can see in the graphic, everybody who was scheduled to compete did make weight, including Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris. I see on screen Jesse Meyer asking, who is Faber an alternate for? Again, it appears to be, and this is reported from by Ariel Hawani, it appears to be that he was here to coach Song Yadong, supposed to fight Marlon Vera and a featherweight belt. Both guys normally fight at bantamweight, but short notice dictated they moved the weight class. So it's possible that Song Yadong might have some visa issues. There were rumors when he was first matched up with Vera that he would have visa issues that would knock him out of the matchup. But earlier this week, Song spoke to the media and said that those issues had been resolved. But these seems to be very complicated. We don't know if there's some maybe some I's weren't dotted and some T's weren't crossed. So that is apparently the reason for Faber weighing in. But he came in at 153.5. So were he to fight Vera, it would be at some sort of catch weight. Vera would have to maybe, I don't know if they'll weigh in again in the morning, Saturday morning, to make sure both guys are closer in weight. We don't normally see this sort of thing. Normally, if there's that big of a weight gap, the matchup isn't even discussed. But again, these are circumstances that are unlike any we've had before for the UFC. So it's possible the Florida Commission is having a little bit of leeway. Esther Lynn asking, what about the Biz Marquee? What about the Biz Marquee? Esther Lynn possibly trolling me on air. I do love Biz Marquee. Just a Friend is a classic, of course. We all know that. That goes without saying.
Oh, baby, you.
Oh.
You got what I need.
Casey breaking it down. Breaking it down. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Just a friend.
In the co-main event, I should talk about the main event more. For anyone again who didn't see in the way, and we talked a lot about the storyline going into this one. Overeem and Harris previously booked. It was of course delayed, canceled, and put off because Harris, his stepdaughter was unfortunately involved in a violent crime and was murdered. As we know, this is his first fight since that horrible tragedy and having to deal with everything surrounding, of course, that violent incident. So we're all happy to see Walt Harris back. His story has been well documented. He's been very generous speaking to the media, giving time to the media this week. And it's going to be emotional. You can only imagine how it would have been in a crowded arena. But either way, seeing him come back and fight someone like Alistair Overeem, someone who he admires and sees as an idol, that was already going to be emotional, and then you add in this extra storyline. And of course, our thoughts and prayers always with Walt Harris and his family and friends. Again, horrible situation, but you can see more about that story on MMA Fighting, and of course, a lot of media outlets are providing coverage as well. In the co-main event, we have Claudia Delia and Angela Hill. Angela Hill fighting for the 7th time in 14 months, if my math is correct. She has said she wants to be the Lady Donald Cerrone, so that means anytime the UFC calls, she's ready. Sometimes when they don't call, she's ready. She is just, as soon as she sees an opening, you will likely see her on social media campaigning for a fight. So she will be facing a one-time strawweight title challenger and longtime contender Claudia Gadelha. So that is definitely one to look forward to. And look, who knows? Angela Hill says she just fights to stay busy. She beats Gadelha. She might find herself in a title fight sooner rather than later. That's how these things go sometimes. And Gadelha, of course, looking to stay near the top of the strawweight division.
Did you actually watch my video on Angela Hill?
Who, did I?
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry. I should have. For anyone who doesn't, Casey and Esther went to go visit Angela Hill and get an in-depth look at her training. Anyone who knows Angela, she's very candid. She doesn't have much of a filter. So you can find that video on MMAfighting.com and on our MMA Fighting's YouTube. It's a great look at Angela Hill, her personality, her thoughts going into this fight. Of course, her preparation amid the COVID-19 precautions that limited and changed a lot of fighters' training camps. Definitely check that out. We see a little clip of that on screen now.
I think we have a guest caller right now. Esther Lynn, can we hear you? Oh, I don't hear.
Can't hear.
Don't hear you, Esther Lynn.
Long time, first time.
Yeah. Long time listener, first time caller.
I cannot hear.
Can't hear you, Esther Lynn.
I'm sorry, guys. We'll have Esther as soon as we can. I know you all want to hear from her and not from us, but we will have that. As you saw, again, that was a clip from the inside look at Angela Hill's training camp that Casey and Esther put together. So please make sure to go to MMAfighting.com or check out MMA Fighting's YouTube and watch that video. It's a really, really, really good stuff from Angela Hill, who is always happy to share and open to chat about her life.
So that was a really interesting shoot because that was my first social distance shoot. Oh, who we got here?
You can talk.
What is going? Oh my goodness!
Hello. Hi.
Oh my goodness!
Special guest this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Who do we have here?
I believe that is. I was about to say that masked lady is Megan O'Leary joining us today. Megan, how are things going this week? How are you feeling? How are things going?
So zoomed in. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. It's like...
The camera's like right here.
Oh, it is?
There you go.
Oh, they're going to weigh in, but things are going great.
We actually went the way. All right, good seeing you.
Cool.
That was a nice cameo from UFC star,
Casey,
ESPN star. So star-studded show. As she said, we are expecting the Staredowns to happen soon, which is why she had to step away. Again, we're not seeing any movement on camera yet, but
I would like to say they've also announced weigh-ins are imminent, like 4 times.
Okay, imminent, a very nebulous term this morning apparently, but please, guys, stick with us. Again, look, hey, we just got you a great visit from the esteemed Megan O'Leary, and we also have Esther Lynn on. Esther, we can hear you now. Did you want to comment? Tell us a little more about that Angela Hill's video.
It was interesting to do. I hadn't actually. This is the first thing I've photographed since the quarantine started in March. So.
Yeah, I mean, Esther, your photographs are definitely going to be missed from some of these events. That's the first thing I thought of when the UFC 249 weigh-ins were happening was, man, I wish Esther Lynn could be on site here and just get us those kind of fresh new fights, because there were so many big names, and Esther Lynn, best in the business. And we want those fresh new Esther Lynn shots of these fighters. So, respect to the photographers on the ground, but hopefully Esther will be out to events soon and bring you guys those classic shots. Esther, how's it been for you, kind of like doing this coverage, remotely? How do you feel about all this fight week so far? When again, normally you'd be on site for some of these things.
It really bugs me that I can't just be there just to take arena shots and that kind of stuff. I understand that they have to limit the amount of people in there for safety, but I get a lot of FOMO watching my friend Jeff Vettori and Cooper Neal, the 2 photographers for the UFC there. You're just looking at their shots and really would love to be there, especially for the no crowd experience. I'm a big fan of live sounds, so
Esther mentioning the people on site doing great work, but for sure your eye is missed. Did someone just okay? For sure you're okay.
It was a wonderful compliment.
Oh, there we go. For sure Esther's eye is missed. I know our fans, but again, check out this video if you want that sweet Casey and Esther video action. You've got this Angela Hill clip which you can watch on YouTube. Check that out.
It was fun actually, because this is the first time we got to shoot in a big gym. There were no other coaches in there. It was just Angela and her husband, and it was like no music. It was just very low key. No other people training in there. It was just it was a bit of it was still a unique experience. It was about as close as we're gonna get to being in Jacksonville as far as being in an watching fighters fight and train in an empty space.
Yeah, I mean, I think normally we'd have a ton of like open workout footage, that sort of thing, but not an option given the current situation. Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
When they say imminent, they mean imminent.
All right, looks like we're about to start.
Oh, this is exciting.
I'm going to be doing the Zoom and stuff, so I apologize.
Okay. There is Dana White for everyone to see, and he looks ready.
Good morning, everyone. 11 fights tomorrow night. In our third event, just 8 days. Dana will square them off now. We start in the heavyweight division on ESPN at 6 Eastern. Rodrigo Nascimento takes on Don'Tale May.
Okay, so Rodrigo Nascimento and Don'Tale May's kicking off the Staredowns. This will be Nascimento's UFC debut. He is a Contender Series contract winner. May is also a contract winner. Took him 3 tries, but he made it to the big show. He's coming off a debut loss to Cyril Gane.
Rodrigo looked like he refused the fist bump there.
Probably a good call. Probably a good call.
Up next, we are in the women's flyweight division. Courtney Casey takes on Mara Romero Varela.
That's Brandon Fitzgerald handling on-site announcing duties right now. Courtney Casey and Mara Romero Varela, excuse me. It's Courtney Casey's first fight in the UFC at 125 pounds.
Courtney Casey and Mara Romero Varela.
Coming up from strawweight.
Featherweight, the veteran Darren the Damage Elkins taking on Nate the Train Landwehr.
All right, we've got longtime UFC veteran Darren Elkins, who's actually tied with Max Holloway for the most UFC appearances at 145 pounds. No handshake. Pretty intense look from Nate Landwehr, who's making his second UFC appearance.
Darren Elkins and Nate Landwehr.
Elkins not sticking around for a pose down.
Got to remind him to face forward for the cameras.
Got to show off that tattoo.
Now we've got Kevin Holland and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. It's a middleweight bout.
Anthony Hernandez and Kevin Holland. And our featured Freeman is in the welterweight division. Matt the Immortal Brown takes on Miguel Caramel Thunder Baeza.
Matt Brown, Miguel Baeza. When Brown steps into the cage on Saturday, this will be his 26th UFC appearance, tied with Thiago Alves for the most at welterweight.
Who has the most UFC appearances that's still fighting?
Oh, just overall? Cerrone. Oh, Cerrone, I think.
Okay.
I think Cerrone has one more than him.
Okay. Featherweight bout between Marlon Chito Vera and Song Yadong.
I wish that maybe, I guess Song must be tired of correcting people, but I'm pretty sure it's not Yadong, like one word.
I believe I'm ashamed to say my pronunciation of Chinese names isn't great, but I believe his translator said it's Song Yadong.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Correct.
Song Yadong, like
Song
that.
Yadong.
I asked him to his face and got it on camera before his last fight, or 2 fights ago.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I got it from. Yeah, from your asking. Here we have Eric Anders and Christoph Jotko at middleweight.
Well, Yako sticking with his normal face-off here.
Yeah, not worried about the social distancing. Oh, he's keeping his. Oh, there's the dap.
No.
Guys, they're going to be pretty close tomorrow. I think it's okay if they don't
Yeah.
Nitpicking these things at this point is certainly it's just that nitpicking, but
I'm Mr. Safety First, and this is fine.
It is interesting to see.
Just to update people in the comments, we do not know yet if the visa issues are going to prevent that Yadong and Song Yadong fight from happening. We don't know yet, right?
Yeah, Urijah Faber weighed in apparently as a potential replacement, but that whole situation is confusing. And people, that was not.
on Angela Overkill Hill.
Your eyes did not deceive you. That was Edson Barbosa at featherweight facing off with Dan Ige. Now we have Claudia Delia and Angela Hill. They'll be in the co-main event.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to the next one, I do want to add we still don't know what's going on with Giga Chikadze. Him and his potential opponent would have weighed in earlier, but his opponent Ern Rivera is weighing in separately, so we don't know if that's how that situation is working or if that fight's will happen.
All right, the main event.
Exciting.
Here are your heavyweights: Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris.
All right.
Hugs and handshakes. A lot of respect between these two.
I like that Alistair still wears a shirt, though. He weighed in with shirts and shoes on earlier.
A very modest gentleman.
Just, the best physique on, in the heavyweight division.
If you want to see the show, you got to tune in on Fight Night.
Yep.
So there we go. So mostly uneventful stare-downs, at least as far as any sort of tension. A lot of respect between all the fighters here. Again, everyone competing under really difficult circumstances. And again, we will update as Esther just mentioned. We're not sure what's going on with the Song Yadong Marlon Vera fight. There appears to be some questions swirling around Yadong's visa status, and his coach Urijah Faber is here supposedly as a replacement, though he weighed in at closer to lightweight than featherweight. So we'll see how that goes. And Giga Chikadze, we don't know the setup is about with Ern Rivera being taken care of separately as far as testing, medicals. He's doing this on less than 2 days' notice, and he'll try to make featherweight, or maybe already has off camera. We don't know. But that's the situation for now. Check out the graphic on the side.
And Marvin Vettori, what is he doing?
Oh, yeah, and Marvin Vettori weighed in.
And we could see Marvin Vettori fight somebody tomorrow, either a middleweight coming up, if the replacement's needed, or a heavyweight, or he's going up to heavyweight. We don't know. He came in 203.5, so in this very strange area, middle area, much higher than he normally fights at. So
I'm looking on Twitter, and it says Marvin Vettori is actually going to fight 3 MMA media members at the same time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I like his odds. I like his odds still. Unless Jose Youngs is one of them, and then
What's up? What'd you say?
I think you just volunteered Jose to fight Marvin Vettori, and I don't think he wants to.
I'll do it.
Alongside Oscar.
How much you gonna know about yourself? You haven't been in a fight.
Yep. Hey, good call.
Tyler Durden said that.
But yeah, guys, stay
You
tuned.
have been in a fight, though.
That's true. A handful of them.
Stay tuned to MMA Fighting social media, MMAfighting.com, and check out all our coverage on YouTube that we've been doing throughout the week. Jose Young's been on site taking care of us. We got Esther bringing in the graphics, providing us some commentary today. Casey on the ones and twos, and me, Alex K. Lee. I believe we are signing off now. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, we're signing off.
All right,
Beat it,
everyone.
nerds.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
And
Take care.
we'll be having a preview show for this event on our YouTube channel
we'll have
in a couple hours.
Have a preview show, and make sure to watch that in-depth look at Angela Hill's training camp, filmed by Casey and Esther.
By
Also on
me.
YouTube.
Good night. Oh, good morning. I'm out of here. Smart fart.